My name is Chinedu Vincent Akuta. The Nigerian lawmakers, House of Representatives, released a list of 31 new states to be created. This episode will look at the pros and cons of this list released. News emerged on the 6th of February 2025 that the Nigerian lower house, House of Representatives, during their plenary section, released list of 31 new states to be created. So that will now bring the total number of states in Nigeria to 67, excluding Abuja. And if you add Abuja, that's going to be 68. For me, I don't think this is realistic. I don't think this is feasible because most of the existing states are struggling financially to survive. Adding more states would be like adding more salt to injury. Most of the states are not viable, both economically and otherwise. And most of the states also were not created in good faith. Some might have been created just for the sake of creating or for maybe because of resource allocation. So for me, the rightful thing they should have done would have been to balance the geopolitical zones. What they should have done should have been to create only one state in the southeast, because southeast of Nigeria has only 5 states, whereas southwest has 6, north central has I think about 6, south has about 6, the north central or I think northwest has 7, whereas northeast, I think northwest has 7, then northeast has 6. I don't know. Either northeast has 6 or northwest has 7, thereabout. So the rightful thing would have been to at least balance the states at the southeastern part of Nigeria. That would have been the fairest thing to do. That would have been to at least equity, for equity's sake. Bringing the states at par at each of the geopolitical zones. Bringing one only would have been the rightful thing to have been done. That would have been fantastic. That would have been doing justice to injustice already existing against the southeast. But Nigeria being what it is, it doesn't always go the equity way or the fair play way. Particularly when it comes to issues like this, you see so many interests coming up, whether genuine and not genuine ones. You see interests masking themselves as if they are coming up on national interest. But again, this list could also be as a result of various agitations by various stakeholders at each part of the country. People would have been agitating for states. For example, the minority tribes would have been agitating for states, fearing domination from the bigger tribes in their states. But they realistically and feasible, or being realistic at this point in time, and even in the near future or in future, creating 31 states is not feasible. It's not ideal. It's not realistic. Whatever the interests that made the lawmakers to come up with 31 states is not feasible, as long as I'm concerned. But again, too, politicians, they try to at least maybe score cheap goals. They want to please their constituents, or they want to appear as if they are doing something to their constituents or to their fellow ones. They want to use this to score their own selfish and political goals, never in the interest of the nation. Whatever they do, check very well. The interests of Nigeria comes second, if ever it comes up at all. Whatever they do is their personal interest. However, they mask their personal interests with national interests. You need to look in between the lines to be able to decipher that most of the things they do is all about selfish interests. For me, coming up with 31 states to be created is just a waste of time and a waste of resources for them to have sat, for them to have been paid to sit and then bring out this idea is not realistic. I think they better come up with something realistic at this stage of the nation. What we should have been doing would should have been to one, find a way of bringing security all parts of the nation, find a way of equitably distributing the Nigerian resources, find a way of maybe cutting the money spent on the national assembly and even the executive, finding a way of uniting Nigeria at this stage, finding a way of bringing peace to the warring section where there are no peace in Nigeria, and then finding a way of bringing justice to the system in Nigeria, finding a way to unite Nigerians should have been the priority list of these lawmakers, not what they are doing. What they are doing is more like is like diversionary. It's like diversionary from the main thing Nigeria should be talking about now, which is bringing security to Nigeria, creating employment opportunities, moving the nation forward, carrying out researches, trying to, I mean, improve on agriculture, education, electricity. These are the things one would have expected the lawmakers to come up with good policy initiatives or good policy ideas, not not on the issue of state creation now, knowing fully well that some states deserve to be merged together, not even creating more states. Some states, like I said, are not viable. Some states deserve to be merged together, maybe two or three come together as one state. Easy. So creating more will be more creating more problems because we have seen what happens during the election or during the electioneering or the politics. It brings about division, it brings about more divide and rule, and it brings about more troubles. So when you look at Nigeria, where we were under the regional system, where we had the west, the east, the north, there were more developments back in the days with those regions than what we have now with the states. So the ideal thing to do would have even like create regions and say, okay, look, we have like regional headquarters, formalize the the regions we have in Nigeria. So okay, look, we are giving policy initiative or policy backing. You have like semi-independence with the regions and then increase competition amongst them. I mean, that would have been ideal. That would have been an ideal decision to make or policy initiatives to come up with. For me, creating more 31 states, no matter how the pressure the lawmakers might have been, no matter what the lobbies, no matter people pushing for this, no matter the idea they would have come up with, is not feasible, it's not economically, financially, otherwise. There's no, for me, there's no justification for that. Like I said initially, the lawmakers misplacing priority at this time. Right. This is where I'm gonna end this episode. My name again is Chinedu. Visit Akuta. If you have any comments or any suggestions from what I've just said, please drop them on the comment section. Thank you. Bye for now.